to the graphic nature of this program, listener discretion is advised.
Shall we play a game?
Your Skype call is being recorded. Your life is being recorded. There's nowhere you can run. There's nowhere you can hide. You're listening to Two Strangers, One Podcast.
Well, hello and welcome to Two Strangers, One Podcast. I'm Chris.
I'm Paul.
And I'm Darrell.
Oh, fuck
And
you.
we're-
Let you on.
We're keeping Dr. King's dream alive.
I know, so right, this black guy tagging out a Puerto Rican guy do a podcast, right? And the black guy is actually saying the most racist shit out of everybody.
Yeah, because
Talk about irony.
Welcome to Two Strangers, One Black Guy.
we're recording right now, we're like an hour and 18 minutes in on our actual phone call, and we just started the episode. So we've been goofing off and kind of getting all types of unruly, nasty shit set out there. But I had a question for these guys where the conversation turned to the movie Shallow Hal, starring the beautiful Gwyneth Paltrow and the hilarious Jack Black. In the movie, Shallow Hal is a kid. Well, as a kid, his father, who's just about to die, tells him, make sure you find the most beautiful woman. Don't even waste your time with an ugly woman. Only go for top shelf type women, by most common standards, I guess would be the best way to put it. So he gets hypnotized by Tony Robbins, the inspirational speech guy, guru, yeah, that inspirational guru that kind of hypnotizes Shallow Hal into seeing the inner beauty in people, meaning that a person could be a 400-pound unibrowed, pimple-faced beast, but if she has a good personality, you'll see Gwyneth Paltrow. So I proposed the question to the guys: if you were able to get this sort of hypnotherapy on you, if there was some sort of total recall machine or eternal sunshine of the spotless mind machine that kind of like made your brain see now let's just say, and the girl, for all intents and purposes, is good to you, sweet to you, she sees you as the fucking sun of her world. But the rest of the world saw her as, a 400-pound, unibrowed, pimple-faced, buck-tooth, walking with a limp type of chick.
You're taking this a little too far, but continue.
With stretch marks and prison tattoos and,
oh, God.
And hairy arms.
What the fuck you think this is? World Star fucking hip-hop ratchet edition?
Yeah, right? This shit, ratchet, shallow.
Wow, you just literally took this to the ugliest girl you possibly could find. Holy shit.
I kind of took it there. But the point I'm trying to make is, through traditional beauty standards, would you be with the girl that if you were hypnotized to you, she was absolutely gorgeous, or, to the extent of like a Gwyneth Paltrow, because I think Gwyneth Paltrow is fucking fine as hell, and, but the rest of the world saw this beast. Mm-hmm. Paul, would you go for that? Would you?
Well, when you put it like that, I don't know if I would go for that definition of it. First of all, I've never been really attracted to any girls that have sleeves of tattoos. Mm-hmm. So automatically right there, I would be like, I'm good, I'm done.
But you wouldn't see it.
Okay, so you're saying I'm hypnotized and shit?
You're hypnotized. You're the guy that, the girl would look like Ariana Grande. Oh, that's the girl's name, right?
Oh, okay. So she looks like Ariana Grande, but...
In your mind, it looks like Ariana Grande. To everyone else, she looks like, I don't know. I'm trying to think. She looks like some ratchet street skank. Now, of course, like I said, you have to preface this with, emotionally, the girl's in love with you. She'll do anything for you, and I'm not trying to be rude or nasty.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying is that she sees you. You're the fucking sun in the center of her universe.
I gotta ask a side question real quick. Would I ever come out of this this state and actually see what she really looks like?
Well, you know the key words. You know that if you hear shallow Paul instead of shallow Hal, shallow Paul needs a gal, you could undo the spell at any time.
Okay.
But
So basically what you're saying is I put this in place so that I wouldn't take a girl by. It would be more based on personality than based on looks.
well, I mean, let's use the movie. You were kind of brainwashed. You were kind of hypnotized, kind of not against your will, but you didn't know you were hypnotized. You
Okay.
meet Ariana Grande, and then it turns out that she's really just Grande. It's just some,
Grande.
it's just Grande, Harry and
That just
Grande.
sounds so wrong. She's
Now,
just
so
Grande.
so you find out, oh shit, if I repeat the words shallow Paul needs a girl, you'll see the real girl, and the rest of the world sees her as this fucking beast. And I know this sounds horrible because I'm a fat fuck and this and this and that. It's not like I'm exactly Prince Charming, because people are like, who the fuck are you to call another girl a beast? But would you do it? Would you? So you could unhypnotize yourself, but as long as you never say those words to yourself, you'll always see Ariana Grande at her best.
Okay. Well, okay. First of all, like if I choose a girl, I like to have. I want to have a personality. If this was like in high school, I probably would do that, to be honest with you. But like now, the person that I am now, first of all, the girl has to have like a fun personality. So if this girl didn't have a fun personality, I'm gonna be like, get me out of this fucking state. I need to see what this beast looks like. But I mean, if you're saying like she was like one of the best, like the best thing that I've ever had in my life, and she ended up turning out.
I know you think Ariana Grande is fine. That's what I'm saying. So I just use her as an example. You know what I'm saying?
No. I understand what you're saying.
Gwyneth Paltrow is absolutely gorgeous.
So basically, I'm initially attracted to her because I think she looks like Ariana, but then
and she likes fucking Toonami, and she loves Thundercats and Ninja Turtles.
Hey, slow down. Paul's getting a boner now.
Yeah, I am getting a boner. Continue.
That's what I'm saying. Like everything that you look for in a woman, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to worry about loyal. I mean, she'll walk up to fucking Brad Pitt and say, "Fuck you, I'm with Paul." You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And she's everything personality wise. She's like everything you'd want her to be.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? She's like, and I'm, I could, I'll work a 40-hour-a-week job and keep the house immaculate and cook you 3 meals a day.
Shit, you're making this like fucking
This is
granddaddy.
just
Yeah, this is just like every man's fantasy, basically.
Well,
I mean,
everyone else on the planet, she looks like fucking. She looks like Jabba the Slut. You know what I'm saying?
that's tough, man. Cause I don't know, man. That's a tough one, man. That's really tough. I mean, I'm really about personality, but if if the girl goes looks like that or something, whoa, I don't know,
Ito na to waka naki Chewbacca Wookiee.
I don't. Sorry, people. Darrell's on pain medicine.
That's a lie. I'm not on any type of medication.
Fuck you. You are on pain medicine. Don't even.
No, I'm not taking any pain medicine, dude. I just have blood pressure pills I have to take.
Yeah, exactly. Same thing. Anyways,
It's not itch.
yeah, I don't know. I couldn't. If that girl was so ugly, the fucking mirror broke while she walked by, I'd have to say no. No, I can't. If she looks like Ariana and all of a sudden the fucking window breaks when she walks by, I'm gonna be like, all right, I need to see what this bitch looks like, really. And if she's ugly, I might be like, okay, I'm done with this. I mean,
It's a hard call.
it's a hard call, man. Cause see, that's the thing. If you have a woman is down for you and wants to do every single thing for you, that's tough to give up, man. That's fucking marriage material right there, man. Seriously, I'm not saying okay, everything that you listed off, she would not have to do, because I'm not that kind of fucking guy. She would not have to.
It's every bit of the package. You know what I'm saying? There's no reason. There would be no reason to say no. Now, I mean, I don't want to okay, because before we even, I don't know, Darrell, if you want to say it next or whatever. I honestly, and I'm gonna be fucking very real with you. I'm kind of fucked up, and I would say no. I don't think I can be with a fucking beast. You know what I'm saying? And I know it sounds ridiculous coming from a fucking big fat guy that, the tattoos and balding and everything like that. I kind of want outside validation. I kind of want and I'm not even, I don't want to get into other specifics or whatever, but like my baby mama, in my opinion, my baby mama was a very attractive woman. And there was and I could admit this. There was kind of a selfish, like when you're walking down the street and people are like, what the fuck is he doing with her? That kind of vibe, you know what I'm saying? And don't be wrong, she's the fucking bane of my existence. She drives me up a fucking wall and everything like that. But she was an attractive woman, and I've dated a few attractive women, and I maybe because for being a guy with low self-esteem or whatever the case may be, I would want the outside validation.
Right.
I'd rather deal with a fucking bitch.
I mean, it's a really, for me, like, here's the problem, Chris. Like, what I've learned over the years, and it seems to be getting worse and worse, is like, it's hard to find a chick that's not only down for you, but that actually like meshes with you. That actually is like, I don't want to say perfect, but pretty damn near perfect, like connecting on an emotional level with you. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So for me, like, if you find that, like, yeah, seriously, like you need to put a fucking ring on that shit. I mean, like, but I mean, and then if you come out of this and you see this ugly chick, for me, like, after having that personality and then finally seeing what she really looks like, it would be tough. It would be really tough. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like,
so you're saying you would go for you wouldn't want to be hypnotized. You wouldn't.
I don't want to be hypnotized. I would rather know who I'm. I see. That's the thing. Like, I don't want any lie from a woman, and I feel like if you don't see the woman for who she really is, how her actual beauty and not like made up, and it's not obviously my fault, but made up. Mm-hmm. It's that's just a false kind of like reading. Like, okay, well, this girl's great.
She didn't put you under the spell. Tony Robbins did. You know what I'm saying?
True,
so it's not like she's manipulating you, because she doesn't know. She, in her mind, in her world, because I'm totally stealing the premise in the movie. It's not like she didn't put him under the spell. She just he showered her with affection, and actually she was so used to being rejected that she was kind of like, she didn't even know how to handle someone coming after her so hard, that she thought that he was only after her because her father was the boss of the company and everything like that. So I guess basically what I would see, that's the thing. Like, if I go out with somebody, I have to relearn. Like, when I'm coming out of this shit, I'd have to relearn who this person is, because it's just a false reading for me. It's not like, okay, well, this chick is great, but then like, okay, well, we got Beastmaster over here, so it's just like, okay, I gotta see if I actually like this or not, because we're gonna get you some plastic surgery, baby.
Plastic surgery.
I gotta get 5 jobs because the personality's on point, but we gotta turn this ugly duckling back into Ariana Grande.
Ariana Grande.
So, Darrell, what's your opinion?
Dude, I couldn't go with that. I could not be hypnotized for this shit, man. Like, basically, I'll just be honest with you. I have dated what you call booger bears back in the day, man, but it's because they basically had such a great personality that I could look past the looks. They weren't too bad to look at in the first place, but by the standards of, like, the type of females that I was always talking to, they was really like a kind of downgrade, because I have dealt with basically chicks who models and everything, and like, damn, so this what you talking to now? Where the fuck you slip off on this, son? Well, basically, that's how it is. And with me, it's more so not so much a validation thing, but I could really care less, now that I'm older. But it was basically, like, damn, what my friends and family gonna think? Because, to be honest with you, man, my mom is like brutally fucking honest when it comes to this kind of shit. Like, she has literally told me, God damn, she's like, damn, boy, you can actually do better than what the fuck you talking to right now. Where the fuck did you get this shit from?
Don't give me no.
Like, literally, this is what she said. This is literally what my mama said, man. So I had that kind of that little insecurity, but nowadays I really don't care. But be honest with you, man, I would just rather judge somebody based on like who they are as a person rather so than their looks. Because I've seen beautiful women with the worst fucking attitude in the world that have I told them, like, you ugly as fuck to me. And I've seen women with a great attitude, not looking all that great, but I was like, you're real pretty. That's the God's honest truth with me. You know, I know they say beauty's in the eye of the beholder, and it's what on the inside that count. I was like, well, sometimes with these ugly ass women, maybe we can flip their ass on the inside out and get that beauty that everybody's talking about.
Beauty's only skin deep, but ugly is to the bone.
Boom! And hey, I heard the old drunk staying in the bar that night, man. First time I actually spit out my alcohol.
And so, I mean, so I guess the consensus is we got 3 votes against the hypnosis.
Yeah, like
I
it's
just
like,
can't do the
yeah.
hypnosis, man. It's wrong, dude.
Give us the pretty girls with nasty attitudes.
Yeah, don't fucking like.
But she
Yeah.
has such great personality.
Fuck that shit. Like,
Man, see, when people say they got a great personality right then and there, that's a red flag. You know something is up. Like, oh Lord, man, somebody about to hook me up with a booger bear. It's like, god dang, I did not want to date Chewbacca tonight. And
oh,
see,
God.
seriously, man, I done took ones for the home team, and it got screwed over so bad.
Dude, that was like, man, like we used to like, cause you know, Beast. It was Beast Wars when we were like when that came out. Like every time that you saw like an ugly girl, you'd be like, Beast Mode. Like,
That's-
dude, like, oh man, like,
Yeah, you know, I'm not making fun of people who are visually unappealing because you are some nice people, but I'm just keeping it 100 too.
As George Carlin said, people with severe appearance deficits. Well, not okay. Here's another thing I kind of wanted to talk about, and we didn't even discuss this. I kind of like to drop these fucking bombs on you. I would like to talk a minute about being trapped in the friend zone. And the only reason where this stuff is fresh in my mind is because my friend had posted an article about it, and there was this whole huge like article that was literally written by 3 different women. It was on BuzzFeed, and you know, it was talking about that men make women feel obligated to have sex, and that when a woman feels like she's in the that a woman would never like intentionally put a guy in the friend zone, you know,
That's a
like that.
motherfucking lie.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, and that's the whole thing is
Yeah.
that like, you know, there was this friend zone thing. I mean, you know, once again, you know, I'll say this before. I've said it a million times. I'll say it again a million and first time. I'm no fucking Prince Charming. And growing up, I've always tended to kind of skew into the friend zone. I mean, you know, and quite frankly, I mean, I was always kind of like friends with people, and then it kind of turned into a relationship. But trust me, those were few and far between. I've ended up several times in the fucking friend zone where, you know, I always ended up being someone's fucking chauffeur, someone's fucking ATM machine, you know, someone's fucking, you know, dick in a jar, you know, or you know, I've been someone's emotional fucking tampon where, you know,
Yeah,
when
ain't
they-
nothing wrong with being dick in the jar because at least you getting some ass, man.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, when I say dick in a jar, I mean more like you're there to kind of keep the boyfriend in check, where it's almost like where you know, if you fuck up, then I'm gonna go be with this guy, you know, because you know, like I said, it's like a dick in a jar. The dick in a jar never gets used. You know what I'm saying? Like the dick in a jar is always there in case of emergency. So it's like, oh, if you fuck up, well, then I'm going to fuck this guy just out of spite, and I'm going to keep him around. Like, and you know, and there's women, and what I hated about this article is that like no one seems to want to admit that, you know, women don't want to take accountability for their actions. Where, you know, there are women who keep dicks in a glass jar. There are women who have male friends that, and don't be wrong, I don't think the girl, I do think women like these guys, as in like them as friends, you know, because how many times have I heard women, they hate each other as friends? Girls that are best friends fucking dog each other behind each other's backs. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot more comfortable for girls to have a guy friend because guys aren't about the fucking drama and bullshit. But this article, you know, and they were quoting all these other girls were like, I didn't know this guy, you know, thought that I put him in the friend zone, and I feel threatened, and I feel like our whole friendship was a lie because we were put in the friend zone. But like, I think putting a guy in a friend zone would be no different if you had, let's just say you had a friend that had a lot of money. Let's just say you had like a really, really, really rich friend, and here's a rich friend, and with that rich friend, you went to the nicest restaurants, you went to, you know, see concerts and shows, and that rich friend paid for everything. And that's, you know, when there's a guy who's in a friend zone, you kind of like amp up your game. You pay for drinks, you pay for dinners, you pay for fucking everything. You pick up the girl, you know, door to door fucking service. You know, say, this isn't shit I do for my guy friends. If I hang out with my guy friends, I'm not buying all the fucking drinks. Fuck you, you bum ass motherfucker. Now if I'm with a girl, I'm buying drinks all fucking night. You know, it's different. You know, I mean, when I'm with my guy friends, I mean, don't get me wrong, we may buy rounds. Okay, I get this round, you get the next round. That's different. At least there's some sort of like coordination. If I'm going out with a female, you know, it's a different kind of ball game. Now, you know, unfortunately, I've had, you know, women where they kind of like, oh, but we were just friends. And I'm like, no, have you ever seen me fucking pay for every drink of the night from my male friends? You know what I'm saying? Do I drive my male friends fucking door to door? You know? You know,
exactly. Like, do I don't take you to dinner because I want to just take you to dinner. I take you to dinner because obviously, like, I want you to be my girl, not because, oh, we're in the friend zone, so yeah, you just come here.
Yeah.
You know?
You know about that shit with me, Paul. How that shit
Yes, I know.
Yeah, you know what happened to me, man. And like this chick literally did lead me on.
And that's what I'm saying. It's like I mean, like girls, if you're, you know, for the fucking 3 women that do actually listen to this podcast, you know, if you have a guy friend, ask yourself, one, is he in a relationship? Yeah, well, first, I guess the first one would be if he's straight, because obviously if he's gay, you don't have to worry about him being in a friend zone.
Fabulous!
Yeah, I'm trying to keep open-minded, but you know, if you have a straight male friend, and he doesn't have a girlfriend, and he's hanging around, and he's buying you things, and don't be wrong, and then see the women were kind of turned out and go, oh, well, if he's buying you things, then that means it's the rape culture making us feel that the woman should feel obligated for, you know, for buying. And you know what? Yes, because you know what? I'm not buying shit for all my guy friends. You know what I'm saying? I'm not taking my guy friends.
I hate to say it, man, but that's that feminist bullshit that comes up all the time, man, that we have to deal with. And I get so fucking tired of feminists, dude.
Yeah, it's real.
I mean, it's the same women that's saying that it's a woman's prerogative to keep or have a child or to terminate the life, but at the same time, they'll go off on a tangent against transgender and lesbian women.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, so fuck you feminists, because I literally was subjected for about 2 months, man, on my Twitter account, literally seeing all these feminist ass fucking comments, and I wanted to say something so bad, but I just kept my fucking mouth closed. For the very first time, I actually showed some self-restraint on this shit.
Yeah, I mean, like if we went out, all right, Paul and I, we hang out. We live in Rochester. You know, you know, even we don't generally hang out. You know, if we were to hang out,
well, somebody was supposed to hang out with me tonight.
And actually, yeah, and also happy belated birthday. You know, like the last episode was my birthday. Now it's your birthday, which you know, and yeah, I got you. Yeah, I got you. I got you presents. I got you 2 presents. You know,
is it big?
No, it's not big.
But it's not my dick, dude.
Damn it!
That's not big. But I'll give you the best 4 minutes of your life. No, but
wait! I thought it was 6.
Okay, excuse me, 6 minutes. I have to like think about baseball and dead kittens and really kind of
dead kittens.
Yeah, you got to like kind of get yourself out of the mood. But you know, like if we were hanging out, you know, I'm not buying your fucking drinks. You know what I'm saying? Like if we went to the movies, I'm not paying for your fucking ticket. You know what I'm saying? Or if so, if I did buy your ticket, it would be sort of like, okay, well, I got you this time, you getting me fucking next time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's the general idea with guys, though.
Yeah,
it's like, well, I got you next time.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And so it's just, you know, I think women are either one or two things. You're either a liar or you're not fucking taking accountability for your actions. You know what I'm saying? It's one of the two. You're either blind to the fucking fact or you're purposely manipulating somebody. And I think both are equally just as bad. Because once again, if you had a rich friend and that rich friend paid for everything and you had a great time and this and this and that, you know, you're kind of taking advantage of their generosity. You know what I'm saying? Like if you did have let's just say I did have fucking, you know, Bill Gates is my friend and we fucking hung out. We went to Metallica concerts all the time. You know, every now and then I would say, hey, Bill, look, you know, let me buy my own ticket, man. You know, I appreciate it. You're a fucking great friend, you know, but, you know, certain people don't seem to fucking understand that if you are taking advantage of someone's generosity. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, and if someone was buying my tickets all the time, I would have some sort of weird obligation towards them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, is it right? No, because I know people like, oh, don't do anything nice if you feel that. Don't do things nice. Don't do nice things for people if you think if you're gonna feel obligated or you're gonna have them feel obligated towards you. But that's just fucking general common fucking courtesy that if someone does something nice for you, you should kind of do something nice for them. You know what I'm saying? And that's, I mean, I'm just saying, like, you know, for these girls to talk about friend. Oh, he's my friend. Oh, he's like a brother to me. Oh, you know, no, a brother doesn't fucking buy all your shit. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Like really, like the one thing that women that are friends need to understand is like, you know, we're just like fucking women. When we get a girl in our arms, fuck that. We're not talking to you for a while, dude. Yeah. We're gonna be sitting there banging out that fucking woman and not just sitting there going, oh, you know what? I need to take you out to the movies because I'm not being a good friend. Fuck that! No, I'm fucking this other girl, and I'm just gonna sit there and be like, look, you need to understand what's going on. If you can't understand that, then you're not my friend.
Yeah, exactly. Because if you were friends, like,
Right.
tell me, I mean, you know, I don't want to totally generalize it and say, oh, guys want to fuck every girl in their lives, because, you know, like, I mean, I've had, and I guess I would say more acquaintances and friends, because, you know, I honestly, I mean, surprise, surprise, I don't have too many female friends, but, like, you know, like, I have people that I know that are like my friends' girlfriends that I'm cool with, and we have fun, and like, you know, we could goof off and shit like that, but and those people I've turned off the radar in my head. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're a pussy non grata, you don't exist, you know, so you might as well have a dick because you don't fucking exist in my world because you're my friend's girlfriend or whatever. I mean, so someone like that, I'm not worried about being in a friend zone because they're, you know what I'm saying? Like, they don't exist to me. They, as in, you know, you are a friend because I've put it way out of my head that we're ever going to fucking have any kind of relationship or anything like that.
Right.
I mean, I thought of you in those fucking terms, you know?
I've had that a lot happen in fucking high school where, like, a lot of girls thought, like, you know, I was, like, trying to, like, they thought they could actually have a chance with me. And I'm not trying to be a dick or anything about that, but, like, it felt like they were kind of like, oh, yeah, you know, I really want to be with you kind of deal, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I go, you know, I hang out with them all the time because, see, the thing is like, in high school, I got along better with girls than guys because, you know, it's basically the same thing. Like, girls get along better with guys, and guys get, you know, have friends that are just girls because we get along with the opposite sex better than our own because, like, you know, we don't have to deal with the bullshit, like, so because guys are, let's face it, they're fucking assholes sometimes, you know.
Yeah,
they treat you like shit, you know, like, and like, you know, me and Darrell get along because, like, we fucking think alike. It's really scary some fucking times. And like,
started.
Yeah, I know. But like, this is what I can say right here. Okay,
Mhm.
If a girl is kissing you in public, holding your hand in public, basically coming close to saying that they love you in public, basically, you know, talking about a future with you, that's not a friend. That's your fucking, you know,
That's your chick,
girl.
man.
You know, that's your chick. Yeah, that's your fucking chick because, you know, that's the girl that you want to be with. You know, and I think some of these girls think that, okay, well, you know what, I'm just gonna be your friend, and that's how it's gonna be, and blah blah blah. And it's just like, no. Like, it's either we're together in some way, or we're not. Because there's not. See, that's the thing. Like, for me, I just turned 30 years old. I'm not gonna fuck around with some chick just to get sex.
Mhm.
I've been there, done that. I've driven all the way to fucking Syracuse for sex, for God's sakes. You know, like, dude, like, I don't want a fucking girl that just wants sex. I could go out to the bar and get one of those if I wanted to. I could go down to fucking Monroe Ave, you know. You know, Chris. You can go down to fucking Monroe Ave here in Rochester and fucking get a goddamn girl if you wanted to.
On Lyle Avenue, yeah.
Well, Lyle Avenue,
If
too.
you're looking to bust a nut, yeah, you could just...
Exactly. Like, you could easily get laid if you wanted to. Problem is that, 1, I don't want no fucking diseases. 2, I don't want no fucking diseases. 3, I'm not rich, so I can't do that. And 4, like, I don't want that. I don't want that in my fucking life, you know? Like, and these girls, like, there was a girl, I've had in certain situations where, like, a girl will start out by liking you, and then all of a sudden be like, no, I don't really want to be more than just friends. And, you know, some of them have been, like, just shitty.
Mhm.
But, like, others, like, more recent, like, I talked to a girl recently, and, you know, we became friends, and she's like, you know what, I need to make up because, you know, you took me out, and now I kind of feel bad because, you know, nothing came out of it. And I'm like, well, fuck yeah, you're taking me out. I'm like, whether it's a drink or it's a fucking dinner, you're fucking taking me out. I don't care. You know, so... You know, and you know, again, I made a good friend out of it. Somebody that, you know, is a good person, and I don't mind, like, having friends as girls. It's just, you know,
Yeah,
I don't.
but that's different. See, now if she's paying,
Yeah.
you know, if
Oh, exactly.
like hanging out with the guy friends, you know, like I
Yeah.
said, if we hung out and I paid for the movie ticket this time, all right, you got me next time. At least that's different. Now it's a you know, a two-way street. It's reciprocal. I'm talking about these girls that are just straight up, you know what I'm saying, benefiting.
Oh yeah.
And then, like, you know, oh, we're just in the friend zone. I mean, oh, you thought I mean, you're upset that I think you know, whatever. You know, I put you in the friend zone. Yeah, bitch. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. You think I was doing all this for my fucking health? I'm trying to get some ass over here.
I'm trying to get laid. Exactly. Like,
So,
no, I completely understand that, man. Like, it's just for me, I don't want a girl that's just gonna friend zone me. Fuck that. Like, basically that's what I always say to chicks is like, look, you know, if you don't like the way things are going and you just want to be friends, you need to be upfront and honest with me. I don't want some girl that's just gonna sit there and make me think that we're going to be in a relationship, and then all of a sudden, like after the third date, be like, yeah, I just want to be friends, and they have like $1 million shit that I got them. You know what I mean? Like,
you're like a brother. Yeah. Well, my sister never my sister never sent me a fucking picture of her snatch. You know?
Yeah, exactly. My sister
if you live in Arkansas, that could actually probably happen.
Oh god. But like, yeah, like fucking, I don't think my sister would suck my dick. I'm sorry. Like, yeah. I don't have a sister, but I'm just saying, like, I don't think my sister would suck my dick just to, get whatever.
Yeah, my sister never drunk texted me a picture of a pussy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, I don't have a sister, and that's creepy as fuck. But
friend would send naked pictures. Like, that's like, obviously, like, I don't know. Like, I mean, I guess I'm guilty of it too, where I meet a girl for the first time and I'm like, no, I'm good. Like, and you know, most of the time it's because of the fucking personality. Like, like, I don't know, but like I said this a couple times on the podcast, man. Fun personality, fun fucking personality. If you don't have a fun personality, I don't want anything to do with you, because I don't want some fucking negative ass bitch, you know. Mm-hmm. And if some girl is like being like, oh well, we just wanted to be friends, and I was already like out the door, I'll be like, yeah, we're not friends because you have no personality, so deuces. You know.
And a moment of silence for our brothers in the friend zone, still suffering, still being led on, you know.
Yes, the harmonica.
It gets better, my brothers.
You will find a woman that will take care of you.
Meatballs don't last forever.
Oh God! With that, I think we need to take a commercial break.
And we'll be back with more dick and fart jokes.
This episode of Two Strangers, One Podcast is brought to you by Comics Etc. 1115 East Main and North Goodman at the Hungerford Building, door number 8. Find out more information at comicsetc.biz or like them on Facebook at facebook.com/comicsetc1.
Click and Hit, enhancing the experience for all recreational smokers. Click and Hit is a one-handed portable vaporizer. This smoking pipe has a compact 4-stage design, complete with a built-in, windproof, butane refillable torch lighter. The large burn chamber holds your stash of legal herb or pipe tobacco. Click the button to ignite and inhale as usual. When you are done, put it back in your pocket for later. Smoke anytime with the touch of a button. No more carrying around grinders and tins. You can leave the pipe, rolling papers, and even your lighter at home. The Click and Hit cordless vaporizer is no bigger than a normal cigar, making it the world's smallest and most discreet vaporizer. It's perfect for use in small places or shared rooms. It's efficient, getting 5 to 8 draws from your packed chamber. It's affordable at just $19.95 each. Buy 3 and the shipping is free. Buy 4 and you get the 5th one free. Visit www.click-hit.com. That's clickandhit.com. And now, for listeners of Two Strangers, One Podcast, you can use promo code STRANGERS and receive 10% off your purchase at clickandhit.com. That's promo code STRANGERS for 10% off your purchase.
And we're back. Okay, so I think we kind of did the whole, I don't know, I like this new kind of format, unofficial format of shows. We tend to kind of like stay topical in the beginning, first part of the show, and then we could get to the nerd shit the second half of the show. Can we talk about how Grimlock brought in $100 million into the movie theater, into the box office this weekend? Because I'm sorry, I love Transformers. I grew up watching the cartoon. I love the 1986 movie. I cried like a bitch when I saw it. Of course, I was 9 at the time. Well, yeah, when Optimus Prime died, spoiler alert, but hey, the fucking movie's 30 years old, so if you haven't seen it by yet, fuck you. And I'm the first to say that the Michael Bay movies are fucking garbage. They're trash. Now, that being said, my dumbass went to the movie theater this past Friday and went to go see it. I I got sucked into the hype again, and I think it's fair. And I mean, I do, you vote with your dollars, and there's a little part of me is hoping and praying that the movie was going to be good, or at least not absolutely horrible, So, but honestly, I think the only thing, and as much as I love Optimus Prime, and as much as I want Peter Cullen to work until the fucking day he's in the ground, people went out to this movie to see Grimlock. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was the drawing force, for, most movies, by the time they hit fucking, the third sequel, part 4, the steam is way out of the fucking engines by now.
That would be the Saw movies and the Fast and the Furious movies.
Yeah, right. And fucking Paul Walker's dead in the fucking ground, and they're still fucking beating that horse.
I will say, like, it's Mark Wahlberg actually was good in this movie, kind of.
Oh, so you got a chance to see it?
I got to see bits and pieces of it, but
okay.
He looks like. I have to kind of take a little side route on this because I don't know if you heard, man, but Shia LaBeouf is now in like drug rehab or something like that. Yeah. And you know what's really funny about this? And you know what's
he was quiet, and then the night before Transformers 4 comes out, or in some places, when it was released Thursday night, in some places, he decides to act up that night. The Thursday into the Friday night, into the Thursday night into Friday morning when Transformers 4 comes out.
He probably saw it way before anybody else did and went, fuck, this actually might do well. Because I don't know if anybody knew, but apparently they had actually offered him to do the fourth movie originally. Mm-hmm. And because of the way that the script was written, he didn't want to do it. So that's why he didn't do this trilogy.
Fuck him.
And well, hey, you know what? Mark Wahlberg probably got paid a shitload of money, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, because it does, because this movie was kind of touted to kind of not necessarily being a reboot, but right. Since they're keeping, they kept the Transformers, it's kind of like it's a sequel, but it's not like it was supposed to sort of be like a revamp, a kind of new spin on it. All new characters, other than obviously the Transformers.
Wasn't it kind of like to appease people too, like with the Dinobots?
Well, I mean, let's talk real here. I mean, the first thing is that other movies made fucking shit ton of fucking money.
Yeah,
they had to put this out, and that's what I'm saying is that Grimlock. I mean, of course, there are other Dinobots in the movie, but the thing that kind of drove the whole fucking ad campaign was the fact that here's Optimus Prime riding on the back of fucking Grimlock. You know what I'm saying? Like that was like, you were hard pressed to fucking see, there's like I would say maybe 6 new Transformers in this movie. I mean, if you include the good guys and the bad guys,
he's one of those
Decepticons, and you don't know any of their names. I still don't know the name of some of the characters from the movie, and I saw the fucking thing. You know what I'm saying?
I'm trying to think, like, what's the one, the green car? Was that voiced by I'm trying to think. I'm looking it up actually right now to see if.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I mean, the green one looked fucking cool. They kind of. It's the first time, they finally made the movie where they kind of had, one guy looks green, one guy looks blue. Bumblebee is yellow, Optimus Prime is blue and red. They kind of purposely made the characters look distinguishable from each other, because right. One of the complaints about the earlier movies was that, like, if you really weren't paying attention, you couldn't tell who's fighting who in the scenes. The green one is one of the ones that I have no idea what his name was.
Right.
The green, but they made it look cool because it looked like he was wearing a trench coat, or like when he was in his robot form. I mean, of course, and it's
yeah. I remember that. Yeah, I'm trying to look up what
samurai. There was like a samurai transformer.
Yes. Yeah.
Drift, bitch.
What was his name?
Drift. That was voiced by Ken Watanabe, dude.
Oh, okay. To Drift. I got it. Tokyo Drift. Because his character was kind of like a samurai Japanese character, which slightly, for a franchise that was kind of known for having its racist characters, that character Drift was a little bit overly Japanese. I mean, just the fact that he's a fucking samurai, for Christ's sake. I mean, they gave him like a samurai helmet and shit like that. Crosshairs was cool. Hound, which I had no idea was voiced by John Goodman, which fucking perfect casting.
Yeah, that was a perfect casting. I thought that.
Hound, the character from the cartoon, was kind of, in the cartoon he was a Jeep. A military Jeep that transformed into a robot. So keeping that, I mean, of course, in the movie they added, they gave him a beard and he's chewing a cigar and, but John Goodman was fucking, his voice acting. I mean, John Goodman could do no wrong in my book. So he was perfect as Hound. And it's funny because that, in the ad campaign, this one had fucking Kelsey Grammer in it. I had no idea Kelsey Grammer was in it. And, and when you watch the posters, it's Optimus Prime on Grimlock, but Kelsey Grammer was in it.
Which is awesome, by the way.
Oh yeah, he's great in it. Stanley Tucci, I got no complaints against Stanley Tucci. Mark Wahlberg, I didn't have any arguments against his character, but it was a little unclear on, because he was one of these guys, he was way too Mr. Perfect. He tried they try to make him young, not young, that's not the right word, but innocent and wholesome and golly gee guys, we're gonna, they kind of made him a little too all-American, fucking hayseed, mid-country, but then, he's works out of his garage but his company he has a company that's like a robotics company, but he's working out of his fucking literally a barn, and so, but he has one or two robots in the barn, and so that was kind of, and that's not really spoiling anything. That was just a little complaint.
Well, he seemed like, the one inventor that's played by Stanley Tucci, he seems like he's a bad guy at first, and then all of a sudden you realize, okay, he's not really a bad guy.
Well, yeah, and they modeled him after Steve Jobs. He was kind of Steve Jobs kind of character.
That's what he looked like. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they made him. He looked like Steve Jobs. His company was kind of like an Apple kind of company where it was more style over substance. I would have to say it wasn't better than part one, because part one, kind of raised the bar. 2 was absolute garbage. 3 was good, but what happened was that the beginning of 3 kind of had really wacky comedy, with Ken Jeong and John Malkovich, it was trying a little too hard to be wacky, and so this in part 4, Age of Extinction, wasn't as wacky. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have any problems against the Mark Wahlberg character. He just seemed a little too golly gee guys, he seemed a little too wholesome. You know what I'm saying? Because they painted the picture that he had his daughter when he was 17. I think he had I think his daughter was born by the time he fucking went to prom, and he spent the rest of his life trying to live a good life because he was raising hell when he was a teenager. So now he went from being a hellraiser to being golly gee guys. So I mean, and not that there's any problem with that, but it's just that part. Here's a movie with fucking robots from outer space that transform into cars. But the unbelievable part is Mark Wahlberg playing a farm boy.
New Kids on the Block, I tell you, goddamn.
And the funny, that's because when Mark Wahlberg was in Boogie Nights, there's a scene where he's singing Stan Bush's "You Got the Touch." You got the touch, you got the.
Don't sing that no more. Stop. We don't need you singing that, brother. Sing solo, deep in the valley.
Well, it's the funny thing is that in Boogie Nights he sings that song that was made famous by the Transformers, but then he ends up in a Transformers movie, so it's sort of 6 degrees of separation.
Degrees of separation,
right?
So I thought. So once again, I thought it was better. It's not better than part 1. It was definitely better than part 2. Slightly better than part 3. But and once again, it's not really spoiler alert. The Dinobots are in it for 5 fucking minutes. You don't hear any of them talk. I mean, you would think with this huge gigantic ad campaign that I mean, you hear him growl. Like Grimlock, and at the very least, part of the Dinobots characters was that they were supposed to be stupid. So they should have at least had one line where Grimlock, who always uses broken English, at the end of the movie, says, me Grimlock. If he just said me Grimlock just once, even if that was the fucking end of the movie, the last line of the movie, I would have been 10 times happier.
Well,
I'm kind of mad, dude, because they really did mess up the names with these Dinobots, man. I don't ever remember Strafe actually being in the Dinobots or Slug. I know it was Snarl, Slag, Swoop, and Sludge. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, Slug? Who the hell is Slug? I know who Slag is.
Yeah. And
so, they kind of really did veer off from me. I do like the Transformers. I thought it was a good movie, but I did have to listen to some people tripping about it. I really wanted to say, shut the hell up, because no one forced you to go to see the movie.
Exactly.
You didn't have to go. You didn't have to go.
So,
And it was like a two-headed, like they're supposed to be dinosaurs. You know, part of the whole premise was that, you know, that you're supposed to disguise yourself. And you know what? Okay, I'll even buy the fact that they don't look like dinosaurs; they look like robot dinosaurs. But there was no two-headed dragon, you know, dinosaurs.
There
you know, had they had the pterodactyl, did they need a two-headed dragon? Couldn't they just go with the pterodactyl? Isn't that badass enough? A robot pterodactyl? I mean, you know, do you really need fucking Gojira? You know, do you really know whatever the fuck his name is from the Godzilla movies? You know,
I was about to say from the Godzilla movies, man.
You know, I should know that character's name, but you know what I'm saying? It looked more like a robot version of that. You didn't need a dragon with two heads. You could. What's wrong with a pterodactyl? That's badass. You know,
I know.
And the Stegosaurus, and I mean that was cool. You know, a Triceratops, cool. You know, but
They really did kind of mess it up in certain aspects, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, of course, you know, it's all fucking convoluted, and I guess spoiler alert, and it's not really spoiler alert because it just makes no sense. Apparently now Optimus Prime is a knight. Like he was a knight, like, you know, like,
Yeah, like
that was just like, wait, like what the fuck, you know, like if the storylines aren't convoluted enough, now he's a knight on top of everything else, and that's not really. It's kind of a spoiler, but not really because I mean, really, what the fuck? I mean,
like last time I checked, he was a friggin' Prime, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, like everybody I'm like, hold on, wait a minute, Optimus Prime's actually ran friggin' Cybertron at some point, you know.
If I remember correctly from the movie, like, because I actually saw that one part, like he's basically Optimus Prime, and then all of a sudden it just happens immediately, and it's like,
yeah, I think it was just any reason to have him pull out a sword. You know what I'm saying? Which, if I'm not mistaken, doesn't he have a sword that comes out of his fucking hand? Did he have to pull the sword out of that contraption in the big giant prison spaceship thing?
I just don't understand, like, how all of a sudden that it just happened, like, in a matter of a minute. Like, okay, well, can I see you? I guess I can just spoil it. I mean, can I see you at least put some armor on? Like, not just, like, just automatically change into it. It's just, like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, okay, I could understand, like, okay, maybe somebody, like, outfits you with this new armor and shit, and now you're, like, this super, you know, ninja.
Yeah, now you're a knight.
Yeah, exactly. I could understand that, but then just to, like, have it happen automatically, it's just like, I mean, maybe it was, like, maybe he could do that, but if that's the case, then you should have said something, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, and I guess, you know,
I mean, I have this whole movie, and maybe I'm just missing something. But yeah, to me, like, give me something.
Yeah, you know, and then you know the fake Transformers, and this is kind of spoilers. You know, the fake Transformers that were made by the company and the Transformium, and like that was just like, you know, and apparently, you know, because of the Transformium, the dinosaurs got extinct. But then again, Transformium is supposed to be a rare metal. If it was enough to fucking kill off all the dinosaurs, I think they could have, you know, more than have more than just fucking, you know, 15 fucking, you know, boxes full of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hated the new, like, transforming special effects where they turned into cubes and then leaped across the screen and then turned back into something else. Like, that was such an obvious move to, like, cut corners with animating fucking, you know, parts moving around and with robot. I don't know. So enough. All right, so that's, and after I saw Transformers 4, you know, being in a movie theater doing my usual thing, I snuck in to go see 22 Jump Street.
Bad boy.
Yeah, right. I'm a horrible person for sneaking into the movies, but oh my god, I hated it. I thought it was so fucking stupid. I thought it was fucking. It was an insult to my intelligence. I saw it for free, and I wanted my fucking money back. But Paul, you said you liked it.
Yeah, I did see the movie. I actually did like it. I thought it was. I actually thought it was funny because, like, well, first of all, like the what's his name? I can't think of his name right now. How they basically had like that gay overtone with the two him and the football player.
Oh yeah, him. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then
Zook.
like
Zook.
yes, and then at the end, like he's just like, oh yeah, he deserves to be with him. And then the other guy that has been playing football with them all along is like, huh?
Well, that's like, I mean, and it's not really spoiling it, but like, you know, part of the joke, like, even though this movie was a sequel, it was kind of goofing on sequels where, you know, movies kind of just rehash the same old shit. and so even they goof on themselves by being a sequel that kind of rehashes the shit from part one. And honestly, like up to that point, up until and I don't think I'm really spoiling it, but after that, after they you really had a whole movie which was a one note joke of, oh, sequels are just rehashes of the first one. That was the first like 3/4 of the movie was them kind of goofing on the fact that that they're rehashing everything, and then after when it was I guess technically going back to being original, that part was okay. And I did like the end sequence when they were kind of like, and it's not really spoiling it again, is where they kind of like talk about 23 Jump Street, 24 Jump Street, 25 Jump Street. That was kind of cute. I'll give them that little gag, but the whole movie was a goof. I could see, if you were, I could see that as a rental. That's definitely a rental or Netflix or whatever the case may be. But if I paid fucking $11.50 to go and see that fucking movie, I would have fucking shot somebody. You know what I'm saying? Only reason I saw it is because I saw it for free after sneaking out of Transform, which to kill some time, I actually snuck into, The Fault is in the Stars, which I guess is...
Are you a pussy? Is that what you're trying to tell us?
No.
Yeah, that's what he is.
I needed to kill some time between movies so I can sneak into 22 Jump Street. No, I only saw the first 20 minutes or whatever.
Right, pussy.
It just blows my mind that you go on, you got this movie theater, and the movie theater I went to, they had Transformers and 22 Jump Street and
the Blue Girl,
X-Men and Godzilla and all these movies, and then who the fuck is gonna go? Who's seeing that? And there was a couple of couples. There was a couple, and of course it was all couples. It had to be all girls dragging their fucking boyfriends to see this shit. And that's not shit. It's just
dude, that's how
you get right the first time.
That's how they fucking get laid, man. What the hell do you think this is? Yeah, I'll take you to this movie, and you're gonna fuck me later. That's basically how it works. That's how it always works, man.
So you got to sit through the movie about the romance between a girl who has cancer.
Dude, how many? Let me put it to you this way.
If I thought I was going to get
90%, exactly, 90%. Well, that too, but 90% of the people going to that are white. So therefore, they're stupid. Okay, they're fucking stupid, just like us. Okay, stupid white guys that sit there and go, "Yeah, I'll take you to this movie so I can get laid."
I don't want to see the biggest grossing movie of all time. I'm gonna go fucking see, And when I say the cancer love story, it is what it is. I'm not making fun of cancer. I was just, it's why are you gonna go see this depressing shit? Give me robot aliens that fucking turn into cars. Give me that over a fucking girl with cancer's love story. It blows my mind that they're in the same theater. But so yeah, I didn't like 22 Jump Street. By now anyone who's gonna see it's gonna go see it. Is it a rental? Yeah, what I'm saying, you go get it off of Redbox or stream it or whatever, however you get your movies. But I wouldn't go to the theaters to see it. Let the theaters crash and burn. No,
I'm sorry. What did you say?
No, so okay. Well, I guess while we were kind of talking about robots or giant robots, Pacific Rim, Paul.
Yes, Pacific Rim is getting a second movie, and along with that, if I can find the article real quick,
and a cartoon.
Yes, it is supposed to be getting an anime, which is fucking awesome.
An animated.
We said it should have happened anyway.
They show an action cartoon. What adult?
Oh, wait a minute.
Cartoon block would benefit from an anime produced by Guillermo del Toro. Seriously, did you ever see because I love the Hellboy movies. Did you ever see the Hellboy animated?
Oh, I didn't, but I really want to see that. Yeah,
and it is fucking awesome.
Well,
for intents of purposes, it's the only sequel we're gonna get, because I think now that he has, because when you do a movie like Hellboy, you're kind of stuck with that kind of you're stuck in that world. You can't really Guillermo del Toro, now this is his sandbox. You know what I'm saying? Pacific Rim is his baby,
right?
So he is not gonna go do Hellboy.
Here's something. Okay, I guess we have to, since you hinted at it, we have to use the word Toonami right now.
Yeah.
What action?
Thanks for making us do work, Chris.
Cartoon block. What was that?
Thanks for making us do work.
I know. Now I got to break out the Toonami shirt and fucking whatever. I'm gonna have to say that this is probably going to go to Toonami. And there's a reason why I say that. It's not because it's just a giant robot, but here's the thing. Del Toro likes Toonami.
Yes, he does. He admitted
B,
it.
they did an interview with him. So obviously, if they did an interview with him and he loves Toonami, he's probably going to put it on there. And 3, basically Jason DeMarco has gone nuts over hearing about this, and I bet you he's probably told Adult Swim, throw money at this series.
Yeah, exactly. We need to get money for this.
Yeah.
Symbiotic Titan's fucking falling off.
Well, I mean, it's not falling off.
It's not falling off. What I'm just saying is that since it's not getting any love or not getting the love where it's supposed to get.
No, it needs a second season to finish it off.
I know. What I'm saying is that another giant robot cartoon would probably benefit in the gap that was left.
Yeah.
By Symbiotic Titan. Not that I don't like Symbiotic Titan, but
Yeah, and I do think that this would be a perfect spot to do it because they could do more with the series, as you indicated, adult. I mean, I wouldn't go so adult with it, but I would still try to give it.
Well, I mean, it's dark themed. I mean, we were talking about fucking
right.
I mean, that's the whole thing. Is unfortunately, unfortunately, when people think of adult, they think of fucking like, actually being childish, like using curses and boobies and stuff like that. Not that there's anything wrong with curses and boobies, but you know what I'm saying, where you could do a fucking seriously toned, movie where I mean that should and you could get so deep and so dark with fucking giant monsters destroying cities,
kaiju,
and the robots that fucking are there to fucking protect us.
Right.
It's very he's set up. There's all these other characters that we just got a taste of in the movie. The Soviet robot and and
the Wang Tang twins, triplets anyway.
Yeah, I mean, we got all these other characters. It's a rich universe you could play with, and because from what I understand, the cartoon is going to be a prequel. Which unfortunately, I'm not a big fan of prequels, but I'll take what I can get.
Well,
prequels kind of give you an insight on anything and kind of give you closure. Like with people like with Riddick when they did Dark Fury, that was the prequel to the other 2 movies because the last movie I just didn't watch it, but when you get a prequel, you have a 50-50 success rate. Either it's going to be good or it's going to be bad. Most of the prequels that I have seen, like Dark Fury, that actually did work. Mm-hmm. Because it tied in the gap between, what was it, Pitch Black and the Chronicles of Riddick.
Yeah, I mean, if I had a choice, I would prefer the Pacific Rim cartoon to be in between part 1 and 2, you know what I'm saying? Like kind of giving us a little, just a little taste or whatever. But I guess, with the prequels, I mean, all the characters, the one played by Ron Perlman, the one played by Charlie Day, you kind of have all these, you have these characters that we're already familiar with that unfortunately some of them didn't make it through Pacific Rim. So, I mean, we could always revisit those characters and kind of introduce new ones, because I mean, it is there's this whole not war, but there's a whole series of attacks that existed before we get into Pacific Rim. So, it's interesting. I'm excited. Fucking make it already. Take my money. Let's make it happen, guys. But like I said, what kind of action cartoon block would benefit the best from a Pacific Rim cartoon?
Yeah, it really would be Toonami, man, because we love giant robots, dude. We really do.
Okay. In sort of not animated news, but in sequential art news, Bill Waterston, best known for being the creator of Calvin and Hobbes, who kind of went into a what's the word I'm looking for? Self-imposed hiatus. He kind of fell off the radar for a whole bunch of years. He kind of retired, and he was always kind of a secretive guy to begin with. He's come back. I mean, unfortunately, for the past fucking 20 years or so, I mean, we only see Calvin on pickup trucks, back windows, pissing on Chevy logos or pissing on Ford logos or pissing on some team's helmet.
Or their stick family.
And that's, it kills me because, Calvin and Hobbes was such an intellectual cartoon, yet for years has been bootlegged to be the most simplistic, it's almost like a joke, like it's something a person that's not that bright would put on the back of their car, And it's like
Mainly rednecks and hillbillies.
yeah, you said it. I didn't want to say it, but yeah, redneck.
Hey, I'm from the South, dude. I just call it like it is.
As I say, it's and so it kills it's killed me all these years. Part of the legacy are these stupid stickers of which and mind you, none of that is trademark. None of that is copy. It's all of that is blatant copyright infraction or whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Infringement.
Copyright infringement. Thank you. I'm too much caffeine, I guess. But it's just for a comic strip that was known for being so intellectual. Part of its legacy, unfortunately, has been these, badly copywritten, Calvin pissing on things, which Calvin never did in the comic strip. You know what I'm saying? Of all the things we've seen in Calvin and Hobbes, there was never one where he pissed on something. Like, if that was part of the character, it would kind of make sense. But it's, here's this bad boy or whatever pissing on logos. So it's, but Bill Watterson has come back. He did 3 strips for an internet comic strip called Pearls Before Swine. And it's not a bad comic strip. I generally don't follow comic strips online. There's huge communities out there that do. It's a great, and I got enough fandom things that I got to fucking follow to begin with. The last thing I need is new shit, internet comic strips. But Pearls Before Swine was pretty, it's pretty popular, and it was pretty awesome that Bill Watterson kind of came out of retirement to do like 3 strips. And unfortunately, it's kind of, he's broken the seal. He may come back, and there's obviously plenty of demand, for him to come back and do work. People have been, I think it was like a documentary about trying to get him to come back to do comic strips. So, hopefully we'll see more, from the brilliant mind that gave us Calvin and Hobbes. We'll see maybe Bill Watterson will actually, come out of retirement. You know what I'm saying? What are you doing? Come on, give us some more shit. Okay. And this one is for our resident artillery expert. The store, the department store, the retail chain, unfortunately named Target, has banned, well, not banned, that's not the right word, has made it clear as of today that they don't want their customers carrying guns in the stores, which I thought is hilarious because the place is called Target. But for states that have open carry laws, and according to my notes, it's Texas, Alabama, North Carolina, Washington, Wisconsin, and Virginia. Now, that being said, I am all for open carry. I was raised in a household. My father had weapons. The smell of gun oil takes me right back to my childhood. It really does. But then again, my father raised me to be a responsible weapon owner. To steal the line from Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility. And I think responsible people should be allowed to carry weapons. Unfortunately, there's a ton of fucking idiots out there. There's more idiots out there than fucking knowledgeable people.
Amen to that, brother.
But so part of me, like, if you, once again, you have I'm all for open carry. I think, fucking priests should be strapping fucking AR-15s to their back if they want to. But I'm kind of opposed to it in more of a fundamental, like, okay, yeah, you have the right to carry the gun, but do you really need to fucking go into a Denny's with a semi-automatic rifle to your back? Is it that fucking serious? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So I'm kind of conflicted. I'm all for it, but I think the actual practice of it is fucking benign. I'm like, oh, come on, dude. And then like Target, you really, in those red states, man, you're gonna, Target, which, from what I understand, Target is on every fucking corner, like every town has its, Target, right next to the Walmart, right next to the fucking Best Buy, right next to the fucking GameStop, all the wonderful giant corporate chains throughout the country. They're kind of, pardon the term, shooting themselves in the foot by telling people, could you please not carry guns in our stores? But I guess, when you get a store like Target, which according to the article I was reading, they do cater towards housewives, for the lack of a better term. Let's call it as it is. They cater towards housewives. Housewives tend to have an issue against guys carrying semi-automatic weapons strapped to their backs. So they're trying to appease the soccer moms and the housewives. It's like I said, my opinion is I'm all for open carry. The people who actually exercise that right are kind of like, oh, come on, dudes, really? It's the same guy that has the fucking Calvin sticker on the back of his pickup truck. You know what I'm saying? And, and I wish there was more of an IQ exam. You should be able to pass an IQ exam if you're going to carry a weapon.
Yeah.
not just have a face, a name, and no prior convictions. Because that seems to be the only, and not that there's anything wrong with that. Like I said, God bless America, God bless the Second Amendment. But I think you need to have a little more fucking responsibility if you're going to be carrying a fucking weapon that can be used to fucking take someone's life.
Exactly.
So, do you have any opinion on that? Because seeing that you're from one of these states, Darrell, Alabama, with the open carry. Do you want to tell me to shut my liberal ass up, or?
I give a fuck what your
Shut up, Yankee.
Shut the fuck up, you piece of shit.
To be honest with you, open carry is actually kind of fine by me, but basically I know who's packing and what they're packing. That, like I said, guess yesterday when I was on my way home from work, I went and stopped and got some gas, and basically I saw this thotchet, and she basically, if you don't know what a thotchet is, that's a cross between a thought and a ratchet. Basically, this chick has her little gun on her, belly exposing a gun, and I'm like, okay, really? So this is open carry now. And, it didn't bother me because, I actually have concealed carry, but I can actually carry my weapon openly if I felt like it, but I prefer not to let people know what I'm carrying in the first place because it's just an invitation to, a whole bunch of bullshit and trouble. Now, being that this is Alabama, you really do. I think open carry kind of deters like people where I work at, because I do work in the hood. It kind of gives them a second thought about messing with me because, basically they see me as a librarian, wears glasses, weak. They don't know my background, so my thing is, if you come up on me and you try to harm me, I'm gonna shoot first, and I'm gonna ask questions later. I believe in.
I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6.
There you go, right there. But it's a good thing and it's a bad thing because you do have idiots that are gonna be irresponsible, and it's kind of like a ding-a-ling slinging contest. Oh, I got my AR-15, let me show it off. It's kind of like people that just want to show off. They want attention. The thing is, I don't want that kind of attention on me because that just invites disaster.
Yeah.
But, I can understand, Second Amendment right, the right to bear arms. And basically, like somewhere like Target, if they put it up in big, bold print in the front of their store saying that they do not allow guns on the premises, then basically they have to respect that because it's the same way here in Alabama. Like, literally, I do carry my weapon to work, and I'm not going to say anything more than that. But the thing is, since the library doesn't have a sign that says no guns on the premises in a big sign, I can literally carry it, and there's nothing they can do about me because it's actually in Alabama's gun law now.
Yeah, and see, when I was a correctional officer, and anyone who's listened to the show knows, I was a correctional officer for 10 years, and with that, I was because New York State, I was allowed to carry my weapon. Technically, what it was called being carried on my badge means I was allowed to carry a concealed weapon with my shield, with my my being a quote unquote peace officer status. I was allowed, and and it was concealed, and and don't get me wrong, I mean, yeah, it was good to carry my weapon, and I appreciate that and everything, but if you're going out, like, because sometimes you would have to sit and make the judgment call, at the time, I'm going to go out drinking tonight. Should I carry my fucking gun with me? You know what I'm saying? And, there's, unfortunately, there are people out there who fucking have the common sense to go, like, you know what? I'm going to go out and, get a little tipsy tonight. Maybe I should leave the gun at home. You know what I'm saying? Or some people, just because you carry the weapon, unfortunately, there's some assholes that think it's gonna, like they're a little less. They're not gonna try to avoid a fight, if that makes any sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, not that you're looking to start a fight, but unfortunately, since they have the weapon on them, they're gonna fucking want to escalate it instead of de-escalate it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, oh, it's scary. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to get caught in a crossfire over some fucking idiot who decided to carry his weapon, saying, because he's got a little dick. You know what I'm saying? I mean, let's be real.
Basically, from psychological studies, man, and what they have talked about as far as like the use of a firearm.
Psychological studies.
Shut up. like it's associated when some like mostly men when they shoot somebody or shoot an animal, man, it's the same friggin' experience they get as ejaculation. That's the reason why they get off from it, because putting a bullet in somebody or an animal is the same friggin' high that they get from ejaculation. It's like linked to a sexual experience for some idiots. And biggest thing is, like, if I was to go out, you know, on a night of drinking, but I would still carry my weapon. But the thing is, there's a limit of how much alcohol I'm going to have. There's a 3-drink minimum at that point, because I still need to be cognitive of what I'm doing. And be honest with you, I could drink all night long and still shoot bullseyes all day long. Mm-hmm. You know, that's just the training. But the biggest thing is you have to remember to be responsible. And for those idiots who can't hold their liquor and who decide to be stupid, you know, this is where the problems come in. You don't do those kind of things. Alcohol, drug use, and weapons do not mix. As you can see what goes on basically within this country now, you have seen the repercussions of everything that's going on with the bad choices that have been made by these people carrying firearms, or idiots getting their hands on firearms and deciding to go shoot up schools, malls, or just killing people randomly on the street. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about, look at with the DC sniper, you know, this man was a military man, you know, had his stepson actually killing people too. And I'm like, this guy, I think he actually did have permits, man, to carry his weapon. But the thing is, a weapon in the hands of a psycho or a friggin' irresponsible citizen who has not been properly evaluated the right way is nothing but a recipe for disaster.
Yeah. We had up here two Christmases ago, on Christmas Eve, a guy shot up like a house, and then when the cops showed up, he started shooting at the cops. And wasn't that the case, Paul?
No. Basically, he shot, I believe it was, he shot his sister, I believe. And then what he did is he set a fire to set up firefighters to show up, and then he just started randomly shooting them, which was... And then, you know, the big news up here was because he got those guns... Now, mind you, he's fucking obviously has screws loose. He got his guns from a person that was totally legit. You know what I'm saying? Like, he manipulated those guns. Now, of course, she was a fucking idiot. Don't get me wrong. I mean, she needs to be responsible for her own fucking actions. And she deserves to be put under the fucking jail because she put, you know, her stupid actions put other people's lives in danger. You know what I'm saying? But why would you, you know, to let yourself be manipulated to the point where you're letting weapons fall into the hands of an obviously twisted fucking individual? You know what I'm saying? And that's just from, local news up here in Rochester. You know, and it's let me put my 2 cents in here, okay? Because here's what I don't like about our fucking system. And look, okay. Obviously, back when the country was first started, I was going to say back in the day. What the fuck is wrong with me? Way back in the day, when our country was first started, the reason that we were given the right to bear arms was because none of us had the protections that we have today. There was no police force. There was no army.
No, there was an army.
Well, there was barely an army.
No, there was still an army.
There was an army, but it wasn't like a police force, you know. No. And so the reason that we had the right to bear arms was to have weapons to protect ourselves. Because you got to remember,
to keep British soldiers out of our damn property.
Exactly. And you know, it made sense in the beginning. Now it doesn't make sense. And I know a lot of people will sit there and hear this and be like, "Well, I disagree with you, Paul. I think that's wrong. I think you need to go, you know, fuck yourself or whatever." And
yes, you do.
I mean, fine. If that's the way you want to think, that's fine. But here's the problem. Just like Jarrell just said, we got these kids going into these fucking schools, or even going to a congressional event and shooting a congresswoman for no damn reason. I mean, and even better, going into a movie theater for no damn reason and shooting up a goddamn movie theater. I mean, if we have that much easy access to a weapon that could clearly wipe out an entire room of 100 people, why are we still giving these people the right to bear arms? My feeling has always been, and it's especially with the fact that technology is getting better and better and better and better as we move on. You know, it should be that the right to bear arms should be those that are trained to do so. Police, our army, you know, and people that obviously need these weapons. You know, security guards is another thing too, especially especially where Darrell lives. Jesus Christ, fuck!
No, not where I live, where I work, because where I live and where I work is two different places.
Well, where you work, if you could have like an armed security guard. Do you have an armed security guard?
Yeah, we have a sheriff deputy on duty,
Okay.
man. But
See,
the thing is, they come in at a certain time, but on top of that, dude, look here, I run the risk of people trying to mess with me after.
Exactly, and that's the thing. Like, we should have a police force that we shouldn't have like, for example, up here in Rochester, and you'll agree with me, Chris. Every other day, it seems, since it's been really hot outside, we've seen somebody either get shot or killed in the city of Rochester. And here's the problem. We have so many fucking guns on the streets, it's not even funny. And here's the thing, I barely see any of these fucking buyback programs that you would love to see in a city like this. Because here's the thing, we have way too many fucking guns out there, man. Like, it's ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. Like, our cities should not be as violent as they are. I mean, Rochester is bad, but Chicago is even worse. Chicago is the worst.
Yeah, I've never been to Chicago in the summertime, man, on the 4th of July, on the south side.
Think about it. Chicago's bad. Atlanta's bad. The only reason New York City is not bad is because Giuliani fucking cleaned that shit up, and it's been that way ever since. So, I mean, yeah, there shootings in New York City, of course, obviously, but it's not as bad.
Population. I mean,
right.
I'm just saying, being the local New York City resident at the time, grew up, born and raised in Manhattan. Just keep in mind that fucking 11 billion people live in fucking, the 5 boroughs. So,
yeah,
you're bound to have a little violence. But
I mean, yeah, but you got to understand, like, this, I don't think anybody should really be carrying around a fucking weapon at all, period. You should not have a fucking weapon at all, period. And, granted, there are some really bad places, like Darrell's experience down south, that, maybe you should have a weapon, but...
You got to remember, the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms, man, is basically for the protection of your family and your property.
Well,
that's the whole point of it.
Not because some guy cuts you off on the fucking highway.
Exactly.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. Like, Darrell, you don't live in a bad neighborhood, like you just alluded to. So, would you ever really need a gun in the neighborhood you live in? Let's be honest. Be completely honest with me, man. I'm serious. Like, would you ever really need to have the weapons that you have right now, in all seriousness, in the neighborhood you live in?
No, I don't need them in this neighborhood that I live in.
Exactly.
But the thing is, I never thought that I would actually have to purchase a weapon because of my job.
No, I agree with you. No. I agree with that part.
No, I mean, seriously, I would have never considered, if I was still at the other library that I was working at, trust me, buying a weapon would have never been an option at all. I wouldn't have had to worry about it. But now... dude, I have to have that weapon. I got a 5-year permit, man, so it's just cheaper for me to have a 5-year permit because I was like, I'm not going to run the chance anymore, man.
Right. No, I completely understand, dude, but what I'm trying to say to you is, like, for me, it just doesn't make sense anymore for all of us to have these guns, especially when it's such easy access to get these kids to go out and just have a gun at their, just to have a gun at their whim. And it's getting worse. We're seeing at least one school shooting, and that's I'm probably being generous when I say that. One school shooting at least a year. And these other countries are sitting here laughing at us. Like,
well, you got to look at certain other countries, though.
Yeah, but
the stipulations for them to own a weapon is very, very hard. Japan is almost damn near impossible to own a weapon. I mean, you can't even own a damn sword without some type of license. You're not allowed to have that on you.
Yeah, but their culture kind of teaches responsibility. You know what I'm saying? I mean, exactly. I hate to generalize. And
right. No, you're right.
But their culture has a responsibility and honor and I mean, responsibility is the best way I could put it. And that's the whole thing, is that all these crazy shootings are coming from guys that had a couple of screws loose, like the West Virginia shooter. He got his shit at a fucking gun show, which is like the most ridiculous, loose fucking loophole way of getting a gun. The guy up here in Rochester that shot, that I mentioned earlier, he got his guns from manipulating a woman or whatever. It's these people. Obviously the guy at the gun show that sold the shooter the gun, the West Virginia shooter, the West Virginia campus or whatever. I mean, it's just like exercise a little fucking common sense so the guns don't fall in the hands of these fucking idiots. You know.
Here's another
is
thing.
That driven by that? Are you that driven by greed and profit that because this guy wanted to make a couple bucks and sold this to this fucking kid in West Virginia? And I'm just using that only because that's a documented case. That. I don't know. It just bothers me.
Think about this, though. You can go to a gun show and not have to do a background check.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's fucking ridiculous. That is absolutely fucking ridiculous. Like, that part right there is a perfect example of why background checks, at least at the very fucking least, part of the Second Amendment, there should be an amendment on top of that says that background checks are required for every and any weapon sale. Period.
It is, dude.
No, it's not. You can go to a gun show and not have a background check, dude. I am fucking serious.
Well, probably for not.
I mean, maybe it's just up here in New York.
No. I'll put a gun show because people can buy those there because it's even down here. But when I went to purchase my weapon, dude, trust me, I didn't leave out of the store for about 2 hours, dude.
Well, no. If you're buying from well, I mean, I don't know how it is in Alabama. I purchased
in New York.
City.
In New York, it's that.
New York, you have to fill out the paperwork at the gun shop. They gotta fax this thing to fucking there's like two. They gotta send one copy to the feds, one copy to the state. And quite frankly, that's the way it should be. Not to mention that I'm already a correction officer. At the time, I gave the guy on top of my regular ID, I gave him my fucking corrections ID. But that's but like Paul and I were just saying, this gun show loophole.
Exactly.
Some guy totally driven by profit, is going to sell a weapon to anybody, and unfortunately, this kid, this Asian kid or whatever, he looked Asian, walked into a gun show and bought some guns, and shot up a fucking campus for Christ's sake. It's
That's what I'm saying. Like, if first of all, if we're gonna do that's the thing that pisses me off. Like, we were all about, okay, we're gonna make some changes to these gun laws. We're gonna do what we need to do after what happened to the congresswoman there, and then all of a sudden it went, nope, we're not gonna do anything because we can't. The least you can fucking do is put an amendment on the Constitution that says that if you have the right to bear arms, that's fine, but you need to go through a mental exam and you need to have a background check done on you at the very fucking least, because there's some whacked out fucks. Excuse my language, but there are some whacked out fucks out there that get a hold of these goddamn guns and go and shoot up these places. And people go, oh, well, yeah, he was crazy. You guys didn't know? No, because they didn't do a fucking goddamn mental exam. Like, New York State is the hardest fucking place to get a gun when you go to a store, because they do make you take a mental exam, they do make you do a background check, and those are great. But guess what? These gun shows, they don't make you do that.
Yeah, and when you could go downstate and buy a fucking gun, and,
right?
I mean, not downstate. You could go to southern states, get a weapon, and then just come right up here. Saying where the restrictions aren't as strict.
Exactly, and that's what really it's really stupid. It's really here's another example. Like, for example, people that are down in southern New York that are by the Pennsylvania border, they will cross over and go into Pennsylvania and buy cigarettes cheap. And they will also cross over and get gas cheap. But here's what's even funnier, and I found this out the other day. People in Pennsylvania cross over into New York because alcohol is cheaper here.
Yeah, I go to Atlanta for alcohol.
I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that fucking shit. I'm like, really? Like, New York State's cheaper with alcohol than Pennsylvania? They're like, yeah, there's these laws that I guess that make it more expensive down there. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, because Pennsylvania is a blue state. I mean, not a blue state. Blue laws. I think they can't sell beer on Sundays. They can't sell, because I lived in Pennsylvania for a little while. And I think technically on the books it's still technically like a commonwealth. It's like, I mean, it's a state. It's recognized as a state, but it still has like funky common law. Because when I lived in Pennsylvania, I could have went to the fucking store and got a weapon. I could have walked into a pawn shop and bought a fucking gun if I wanted to.
And here's my question too, and Darrell, you would know more about this. There's no law that says you have to be 18 or over to hold a gun, right?
Yeah, they are laws. There are stipulations to it,
but
you can own at a certain age.
Okay.
Or what you can use.
See, for me, like, it's along the same lines of, for example, like alcohol. You can't purchase alcohol unless you're 21 and up. Okay, but if you smoke cigarettes, you can smoke cigarettes at any age. Okay, well, here's the problem. why, if you're going to do that for alcohol, why aren't you doing that for cigarettes? So, okay, at least make it 18 and up, you can't smoke. So when I see some fucking, 14-year-old smoking at 7-Eleven, instead of me being a cop, sitting there and going, I fucking hate that, but I can't do anything, I just go up there, rip the cigarette out of his fucking mouth, and arrest the motherfucker. It's the same thing with guns. Let's start being a little bit more fucking responsible. Let's say, okay, fine. You want a gun? Okay. When you're 18, you're technically an adult. We'll let you take a test at 18. You take a mental exam and you take a background check. I don't see how that's a bad thing. If you pass all that, you still get a gun. You could still get your license to shoot that gun, and you could still have your right to bear arms. But you just need to go through all of this to get to that point. I don't see that as a bad thing. And yeah, you know what? Are there going to be people that do all that and still go and shoot up places? Probably. Okay. But at least if we do that, we cut down on those fucking psychos that go up and shoot these schools for no fucking reason from this happening. I mean, I don't think that we have to do it, but we may end up having to fucking have a goddamn National Guardsman at every single fucking school because it gets so bad. And that shouldn't be the case. But if this continues, it might have to be the case. You might have to have a goddamn National Guardsman and police officers, maybe just police officers, but either or, with AK-47s in your fucking school, making sure that nobody shoots you.
Well, in New York City, there is, and I was a school safety officer, there is one police officer assigned to, every high school, and, every high school and I think junior high.
Yeah, but there's also, in these bigger cities, in these big cities, too, there's also fucking metal detectors, too. Mm-hmm. You come right into the school, and boom, metal detectors. If you go to where I went to school, Rush Henrietta, you can go into any entrance, really, and they may have changed it by now, but when I was in school, you could go in the gym entrance and go upstairs. You could go in this other entrance and be fine. We need to take security precautions now. We need to sit there and we just need to do something about how we use our weapons now, because I feel like I said, I feel as technology progresses, the more that we're going to shoot up these schools and the more that these kids are going to be able to figure out ways to get these guns. Let's put a stop to it. Let's do things the right way now, and let's re-examine the Second Amendment and say, okay, how do we responsibly take these gun laws and do it? And you know what you do? And one last thing I got to say is, I don't want to be up against the NRA because the NRA obviously has its clutches into our fucking government. It's clear. We would have done something about the gun laws if it wasn't. So why not go to the NRA, have the NRA come in, sit them down and say, hey, look, do you like it when a kid goes in and shoots up a school? They're obviously going to say no, obviously. Do you like it when some congresswoman gets shot? No. Do I like it when some, college gets shut up or some store randomly gets shot up? No, they're not going to like that. Okay. I'm going to come to you, NRA, and say, look, what do you think we should do? What would be good with you to cut down on these things? Because I know that you don't want us to eliminate the right to bear arms. But if this continues, we're going to have to consider cutting that right in half.
You can't take it out.
You can you can take it out.
It can be ratified.
You can. Look at what happened with...
You really just can't take it away, man. That's wrong. And it's illegal.
No.
The thing is, the stipulation is, man, there just needs to be better gun control laws, not taking away the Second Amendment, saying you said take the Second Amendment. No, you can't do that.
That's the thing.
Right, I still want my right to bear arms, but the whole thing is you have to have stricter gun laws that check the people.
Yeah, but Darrell, you have to agree with me on this, okay? There's a lot of our amendments that were put in place the first time. Okay, were put in place when we started this country. A lot of them are way outdated and need to be updated for our future.
That's the reason why you ratify them.
That's the thing. Nobody has the balls to fucking do it. And they need to fucking start doing this shit. Even the freedom of speech. You got these kids, you got these fucking kids who sit there and text a girl, oh, you're ugly and blah, 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 and then the girl ends up killing herself. You know what? Our laws need to change where freedom of speech isn't freedom of speech. You got to change these laws.
You're missing the whole entire point of the friggin' Constitution now, man.
No,
Look,
that
yeah.
see what you need to understand.
Dude, I defended this thing, man. I still do. The thing is, yeah, you shouldn't. It's certain things you shouldn't say, but you cannot condemn somebody for calling somebody else ugly, stupid, dumb. That's their right. They can,
Exactly.
that's freedom of speech.
Well-
I say a lot of stuff, man, but the whole thing is you have to watch what you say. You have to be responsible, man. That's the whole thing about it. It's not the Constitution's fault. It's the individual who abuses it.
Well, no. I'm not saying I wouldn't put any blame on the Constitution itself, but what I'm putting the blame on as far as what our government is not doing is the fact that we're not going back in, taking a look at these laws and saying, do we need to update them? And the Second Amendment is one of those laws that we have to go in and say, okay, yes, we can't really take away the right to bear arms. However,
We can ratify or amend it. That's the whole
we
thing.
need-
You have to.
these are the things that we need to do now that we're in this age, because even I believe you can go online and get a gun now and not have to do a background check too.
No, you still have to do background checks and everything. And on top of that, you cannot purchase a gun online unless you get it sent to a FFL dealer, somebody who has a license for that, because that's the only way you're going to get certain type of weapons. And then other types of weapons, you have to have a certain type of license. I mean, like if I wanted to buy a tank, I have to have it's kind of like I forgot what the class is on that.
Yeah, but here's the
on
problem.
those heavy arms, but pretty much anything from an AR-15 to whatever I want, even a friggin' sniper rifle, I can own those. But when it starts getting to like where I'm buying a howitzer or something, I have to have a license to do that.
Yeah, but the problem with that too is that not every state does it that strict. You got to understand, like some states are just background checks. Some states actually do the whole kit and caboodle. There should be. I guess what what I'm finally trying to say is that we need to come up with something federally that is done across the whole United States and not just done in a couple states, because it needs to. It just like I just said, you could cross over and get cigarettes for cheaper in a different state, or come over into this state and get cheaper booze or whatever. It shouldn't be like I shouldn't be able to cross. I'm not saying that I can cross and go into Pennsylvania and buy a gun, and not have to go through everything in New York State. But I'm just saying, like, we should have something universally that helps protect all of us. Because you shouldn't have to go to your job and worry about coming out at night and somebody shooting your ass up. And if I remember correctly, Jarrell, you actually have, or you said you were going to get a bulletproof vest, right?
Yeah.
That makes my point right there. Why, you shouldn't have to fucking worry about that. Whether you're in the city,
people are unpredictable any fucking way.
right? Whether you're in the city or in the fucking suburbs, you should not have to worry about some guy coming up to you, putting a gun to your head, and shooting your brains out for no damn reason. Okay? Nobody should have to worry about that whatsoever. So what I'm saying is that we need to start curving that trend and just fix this. Fix it. Just fix it.
I'll put it to you like this. I'm all about something that will regulate gun control laws that keep people safe, but taking away my freedom of speech, my right to bear arms, no, it's not going to fly. I understand that the situation has to be improved.
Well,
but at the same time, you cannot take away my
well,
freedom.
one last thing.
Standardized common sense. Fucking
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
One last thing I gotta ask though. One last thing, so then we'll move on. Would you agree though, Jarrell, that common people shouldn't have like an AK-47 or like a, like a fully automatic weapon that really like the army should have, but it's available for purchase by anybody?
Nope, I don't agree with that.
You don't agree with that?
Nope, because for one simple reason, dude, I am one of the common people now, and if I want to own an AK-47 and shoot for recreational purposes, then I should have that right to own that type of weapon. Because a Kalashnikov 74 or 47 or the other sub-variants of this weapon are very, very reliable. You cannot go wrong with an AK-47. You can basically abuse this weapon, clean it off, and it will still fire like brand new because it is a very reliable weapon. I guess I probably might be basing this on the fact of my military background and the fact that I am proficient with with a lot of weapons.
Yeah, but see, you've been in the army though. Would you want somebody that isn't in the army to have one of those?
If I feel they're responsible and they can qualify for it, man, yeah, I'm fine with that.
So you would
I
want
just don't-
somebody. So basically, what you're saying is you would want somebody to be tested before they had a weapon like that.
Before you can own any type of weapon of that caliber, you need to be tested.
Okay, that's all I want to know.
That's the way I look at it, you know. Cause look here, I mean, it's a lot of weapons that I want to own, man, but I can't buy them either for one simple fact. Some of them are just too expensive, and to try to find ammo for it, man, can be dang on near friggin' impossible. Dude, I would love to have a Ma Deuce, which is a Browning 1919. Dude, ammo is expensive, and to buy the weapon itself is friggin' expensive. Not to mention to put it together, because most of them get demilled, which is demilitarized, and you have to put it back together, and that's costly.
Well, you see, look at Red Jacket. Fucking,
Yeah.
how many weapons have they had that they had to put back together because it's been sawed down or whatever? So
Exactly. When a weapon is demilled, man, it's a whole different story.
yeah.
But the thing is,
Move
I
up.
still feel though that within the right hands of a common person who is responsible, it is fine for them to own these types of weapons. It's just the idiots who happen to get their hands on it, they cause all the problems and the misconceptions for everybody else who may want to own one or who does own one. Everyone who owns a gun is not irresponsible. Not every gun.
It's safe to say there are literally hundreds of thousands of people. There are literally hundreds of thousands of responsible gun owners.
Exactly.
I
What
think
most
that's a
people
safe-
don't know is like the military and law enforcement do not own the most weapons. It's the private citizens who own the most.
Yeah, I mean, I just saying, but it's also, you know, there are, thank goodness for our safety, you know, people with common sense and people with enough decency that they have the weapons, and there's absolutely no problem whatsoever. But you know, unfortunately, you got the couple fucking loose screws that fuck it up for everybody. That you know that fucking make life dangerous. You know what I'm saying? It makes me worried that at any moment getting hit with a fucking stray bullet. You know, that's the shit that terrifies me. You know,
Well,
or someone that I care about getting hit with a stray bullet. That's
Look
the shit
at-
I'm fucking terrified about.
Look at the one girl and that it happened in Rochester.
Mhm.
That girl that was just sitting on her porch. Guy
a
wasn't
mile
even
and a half away from where I live.
Yeah, wasn't even aiming at this girl, and she got shot. Like it's just.
Yeah, that's. I mean, it's funny that because that's exactly why I brought that up because you know, and mind you, that person got shot probably not too far, almost like towards the middle of where I live and where my daughter lives, which is fucking terrifying because a little girl got killed or shot or got hit with a bullet. I don't know if she got killed or she just got hit with the bullet, but you know, that's my biggest fear is for my daughter to die over some other fucking asshole's, you know, stupidity.
Exactly.
I think we're gonna wrap it up there.
And that's what she said.
And once again, we'd like to encourage our listeners to go visit 2s1p.com where you can find all
And-
crypto related. What's that?
And make sure you use condoms too.
There's
If
condoms.
you like me, you use Titan brand condoms.
Oh God, we're not even gonna get into that. You fucking... By the way, if you want to know what that reference is, listen to this week's podcast. Unfortunately, from Do Not Be Faithful podcast.
Okay, so once again, 2s1p.com. You can find however you came across this show. Thank you for all the loyal listeners, all the loyal fans. You know, you guys are fucking awesome. I don't think we say it enough. Thank you for listening. Take 2 seconds to share us on Facebook. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/2strangers1podcast, all spelled out. You can write to us. And once again, Oscar, our good friend from South America, has reached out again. He goes, he hates waiting forever in between episodes. I'm sorry, it's kind of my fault that the reason this episode took a little longer.
Yeah. Chris needed to get laid.
Hey, we're gonna leave that out. He asked, well, no offense to Paul, or he asked if Kristen will ever come back. Unfortunately, I don't think she'll ever come back to the show. Unfortunately,
What, you don't like me, man? What the fuck?
No one likes you, Paul.
no.
I'm sorry.
Unfortunately, I don't think, and it's not because Kristen's kind of moved on with her life. I've reached out to her on Facebook and stuff like that. She's kind of doing her own thing now, and she's kind of really working a lot. I think it would be great for her to come back on the show just to, you know, at least do like kind of like an update episode to let people know what's going on. But I don't know if she doesn't want to be on the show, and it's not that. And I asked her, I said, "Are you mad at me or anything like that?" And she goes, "No, I'm kind of doing my own thing now." So unfortunately, once again to Oscar, to Tommy B. Oh, I just wanted to because Tommy B. another loyal listener of the show, he wanted us to talk a little bit more about like heavy metal stuff, and I don't know, you guys aren't really like heavy metal fans, right? Or
it depends on who it is, dude. Like,
Yeah, I don't know if
listen
I
to guys like Megadeth, a little bit of Slayer, but not really into the.
Wait, a black man into rock?
Bitch,
Well, no.
fuck you, man. Do you not know who Living Color was? I mean, shit, dude. Slash is actually black.
I think he's half black, if I'm not mistaken. But
Hey, look, you're half black, some black, you black no matter what.
well, I mean, if I had to give a recommendation, Ice-T with his band Body Count, their latest album that came out on June 10th, according to Wikipedia. I listened to the whole album. It is fucking awesome. So for Tommy B and for any other metalheads out there, I definitely recommend Body Count's newest album, Manslaughter. They do an updated version of Suicidal Tendencies Institutionalized. I'm not crazy in institution. You're the one that's crazy. He actually does a kind of not an updated, but he does a cover of Jay-Z's 99 Problems, but a bitch ain't one.
Actually, Jay-Z does have that 100 problem in Solange.
He has a hilarious song called "Bitch in the Pit." It talks about whenever he goes to shows, whenever he plays the shows, there's at least one fucking hardcore chick in the mosh pit. It's hilarious. "Back to Rehab," which is a song basically telling people, I don't want to hear your bullshit about, you're going to stay clean, go to rehab. Another one called "Get a Job," which is about don't try to borrow money from me, get a fucking job. So definitely the newest album from Body Count. It's called Manslaughter. It is fucking a great album. Body Count is an underrated band. I would say, honestly, the lyrics are a little simplistic because Ice-T, and not that nothing to take anything against Ice-T, but I mean, it's his baby. Like I said, the lyrics are a little simplistic, but I would say the musicians in the band, because I know one of the band members passed away. I forgot which one it was. I would honestly say that they're like on par with a band like Slayer, and I'm not even even though Slayer's known for doing a lot more faster stuff, when it comes to just like chugging rhythmic music, I honestly think they're on par with Slayer, but that's just my opinion. So for Tommy B, that's for you. For Oscar, those are the basically we will try to keep our episodes a little more constant. I apologize, it was totally my fault why we've gone a little longer without in between episodes.
I would say, but he'll slap me.
So once again, we're on, if you want to follow us on Twitter, we're at Stranger Podcast, the little @ symbol, Stranger Podcast. If you want to write to us like Oscar did, you can reach us at twostrangersonepodcast @gmail.com. twostrangersonepodcast, all spelled out, at gmail.com. Once again, if you don't have a dime to give towards the show, just share us on Facebook. I mean, everyone and their fucking mother has a Facebook page now, so just say, hey, check these guys out, they're funny. And once again, thank you for all our fans. I mean, our numbers have been slowly going up, I guess, because of the Tsunami Faithful podcast. I'm not going to lie. And
you're welcome.
To all the listeners, I mean, feel free to get involved. Feel free to contact us. If you have a project you want to talk about, a Kickstarter or a band or a book or whatever the case may be, feel free to reach out to us. And I apologize because we had another one of our long-term listeners, Danny from Scotland. He wanted to be on an episode. Unfortunately, we record this kind of late, and right now it's midnight our time. It's 5 o'clock in the morning over there. So Danny, it's not that we didn't want you on the show, it's just we're recording this so late that it would have been literally the middle of the night for you. So hopefully Paul and I could get an episode in earlier where we can get Danny from Scotland on the show.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
He seems like a pretty cool fucking dude. So I think that's Irish.
It's Irish, yeah. When you take the load and I'll take the high.
Oh God, shut up!
Scotland before you.
Help me, please.
Shut up, Paul. Quit being racist.
And so with that, Paul, I acquiesce the floor to you, sir.
I'll let Darrell go first.
Oh, thank you so much, Master. You so good to me.
Where can they find you, you piece of shit?
Black ass. You can find me at ukami_samurai7 at twitter.com, and if you want to tumble with me because I don't like to tumble, you can do that at ukamisamurai7.tumblr.com, and if you want to send me any evil emails, you can do that at darrellmaddox@tsunamifaithful.com.
Okay. Well, you can find me at Paul Pascrillo on Twitter. You can also find me on Tumblr, paulpascrillo.tumblr.com. tumblr.com.
Appreciate
And
though.
yeah, shut the fuck up. And you can ask me questions on my ask.fm. It's ask.fm/Paul Pascrillo. I'm open to any questions that you have, Toonami or non-Toonami.
Yeah, he's open, all right.
I'm gonna fucking kill you. Swear to God. And just like Darrell, I guess you can come on and harass me on all social media, but whatever. I guess I could say it here too. We had a very, very nice. I had somebody tell me that they listen to the Toonami Faithful podcast, and it makes their day because they get bullied and treated badly at school. So, again, thank you for saying that. So,
It
we'll
gets
send.
better.
Yes, it gets better. We'll send Darrell after them.
Pretty much.
And yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, it gets better. Just keep sticking around, so then you could fucking crush your enemies.
Exactly.
See the women driven before you in the lament. Oh, was it? No. Was it What's Good in Life, Conan? To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentation of the women. With that, we certainly hope you guys enjoyed listening, had as much fun as we did recording. Thank you for listening to Two Strangers One Podcast. I'm Chris.
I'm Paul.
And I'm Darrell.
Don't be a stranger.
Peace. We're out.
Holla!
Right.
What happened to Deuces?
That's Toonami Faithful Podcast exclusive.
You should be fapping.
Happy Fapsgiving, folks.
Thanksgiving.
All right, here we go, man. Go ahead. You want to read
Double
it?
Jackpot.
What is it?
It is a self-published book by Christopher Cologne.
Chris Cologne smells good to me.
But
Look at her. That broke that fucking cold little exterior. He's like, hee.
but it is spelled Colon.
Him punny.
But Double Jackpot is a book about a comic book artist, Eric, who is in a loveless relationship with a materialistic
I feel you, Eric.
Lynette.
Oh, fucking. Are you sure I didn't write this? Sounds hauntingly familiar.
He starts cheating on his girlfriend with a more creatively supportive woman, Nadia.
Well, I gotta meet her. Where's the Nadia?
There's your summer girlfriend.
Summer Nadia is Nadia.
Nadia?
Yeah, I think Nadia spelled with an A.
All right.
Both Lynette and Nadia play the double jackpot, the largest payout in lotto history, much like the recent Powerball. Both girls play his birth date as the winning numbers. Eric is now stuck between two of the country's richest women. Who will he choose? It's not that simple. This is a clever fucking idea,
Yeah, it
man.
is.
Look at her, fucking. She's impressed.
I am.
She got some summer reading. Christopher Cologne smells real lovely with an original idea. This is. I've never heard this before.
I haven't either. This is a self-published book, much in the indie spirit as Kev's Clerks.
Oh, you don't even need to name check me. This is just a good idea. You could stand on your own, man. You don't even have to be like, hey, remember Clerks? This is nothing like that. This is way more original than Clerks. This is a good idea, man. Why didn't I think of this?
I need something to read. This book is part of the Comic Books, Heavy Metal, Video Games Trilogy Book 2. Odd I See, A Tale from the Road, coming soon.
Right on, man. It's part of a trilogy. This is the first part.
Way to write, man.
He's seeking a literary agent. Motherfuckers, anybody out there? There ain't no literary agents listening to the show. I assure you, sure. I assure you, sure. But somebody know a literary agent? Hook a motherfucker up! Chris Cologne come up with an original idea. I should tell Raskin. That's a good fucking idea, to be honest with you. That's a fucking rom-com right there. Megan, get Raskin on the phone. Isn't it possible to get Raskin on the phone? No?
Yeah.
I want to run it past him, man. I want to, and if it happens, I get a taste, Chris Cologne. I get a whiff, if you will.
The book could also be ordered on www.lulu.com.
That's lulu.com.
I understand that. I just want to spell it out.
Normally one says it that spells it. Still, lulu.com. What is that? Do you know what it is?
I don't know. All right. The book could also be ordered on www.lulu.com. Search for Double Jackpot Christopher Cologne. A paperback version of the book is $15 and a PDF file is only $5.
$5 is
Yeah.
insanely inexpensive. 15's not even that bad for a paperback version.
No.
This is $1 million idea right here. Like a movie about a dude who fucking is stuck between two chicks, both of who play his birthday and win the lottery. Come on! I can see that trailer. Chris Cologne is on to something. Nobody else can smell it but me.
I'll read it.
Thank you. I'm going to make that smelly joke.
I know. You're trying to get me to laugh again.
It worked once. Double Jackpot is a self-published book by Chris Cologne, man. It's the first book in his comic books, heavy metal, video games trilogy. Book 2, Odd I See, A Tale from the Road, should be coming out soon. Get all the information at Chris Cologne, like a motherfucker.
I will
his
totally
book,
read this.
Double Jackpot. I'm serious. I'm going to recommend that to fucking Raskin. How is that not a movie? You know what I'm saying? This could be a sexy movie. You could do an R-rated version. There could be nudie in it, and you could show them fucking both chicks. Maybe a little penetration. Maybe a butthole shot. No butthole, no care.
I would like to formally apologize to Christopher Cologne. Right
No,
now,
sex sells. Chris Cologne will appreciate that. He's like, thanks for throwing a few buttholes in there, man.
Don't forget to check out twostrangersonePodcast.net, your one-stop resource for everything show-related. You can find links to subscribe to us on iTunes or on Stitcher. You could also find links to buy my book, Double Jackpot, on twostrangersonePodcast.net.
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool. And fuck you, I'm out.